We're live.
Okay, great. Thanks. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Amherst Design Review Board meeting of June 16th, 2025. My name is Erica Zekas, and as the chair of the Amherst Design Review Board, I'm calling the meeting to order at 5:02 p.m. The meeting is being recorded and will be made available via the Town of Amherst's YouTube channel, and minutes are being taken. Thank you, Jacinta. This meeting will be conducted via remote means pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extended through June 30th, 2027, the ability of any public bodies to meet in a fully remote or hybrid manner. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so via Zoom or by telephone. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. A hyperlink to the hearing is posted on the town's online calendar. I'll take roll. Board members, when I call your name, please unmute yourself. Answer in the affirmative. Lindsay Schnarr is not present this evening. Karen Winter?
Here.
Pat Oth? Also not here tonight. Karen Blum?
Here.
Thank you. And Erica Zekos present. Board members, if technical issues arise, we may need to pause temporarily to fix the problem and then continue the meeting. If the discussion needs to pause, it will be noted in the minutes. Please use the raised hand function to ask a question or make a comment. I will see your request and call on you to speak. After speaking, remember to remute yourself. The general public comment item is reserved for public comment regarding items that both are and are not on tonight's agenda. Please be aware that the board will not respond to comments during general public comment period. Public comment could also be heard at other times during the meeting when determined appropriate. Please indicate that you wish to make a comment by clicking the raised hand button when comment is solicited. If you've joined the Zoom meeting using a telephone, please indicate that you wish to make a comment by pressing *9 on your phone. When called on, please identify yourself by stating your full name and address, and put yourself back into mute when you're finished speaking. Residents can express their views for up to 3 minutes or at the discretion of the chair. If a speaker does not comply with these guidelines or exceeds their allotted time, their participation will be disconnected from the meeting. At this meeting, the Design Review Board will conduct the following business. We'll start with general public comment period, and then go on to review 2 agenda items tonight. Let's see if I can find the agenda amongst all of my tabs. Bear with me. We have DRB FY 2025-18, 172 North Pleasant Street, a floral affair, and then we'll hear 2025-19, 45 Boltwood Walk, the Amherst History Center. Following that is approval of meeting minutes and other business. So, is anybody here from the public to speak this evening?
I don't see anyone with their hand raised. Oh, wait. A Becky Geyer
Okay.
would like to speak. One moment. She should be joining us shortly.
Thank you. Welcome, Becky. I see your logo. I'm wondering, do you have a general public comment? Or are you waiting for a floral affair?
Hi there. How are you?
Hi, Becky. This is our general public comment period. I just wanted to know if you are showing up in this moment for public comment.
It's not great.
Oh. Can you hear us okay? Becky, can you hear us?
Yes, my goodness, this is fun.
Okay, great. I just have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
This is our often quite brief, but this is our general public comment period. So I was wondering if you wanted to make a comment as a member of the general public, or if you're here in this moment to speak to your proposal to the DRB.
Just a proposal. So totally up to
Okay.
you. If you want me to hold out and wait a bit, then that's perfectly
Oh,
fine.
yeah, just sit tight for one moment.
Sure
We'll check in to see if
thing.
there are any members of the public, and then we'll circle right back. Jacinta, are there any other hands raised?
No, no other participants would like to
Okay.
make a public comment.
Okay, great. Well then we can turn to Becky Geyer. Thank you for being here, Becky. So if you would like to please introduce us to your proposal, we'd appreciate
Yeah.
that. And if you'd like me to share my screen and images on your behalf, I'm happy to, or
That would
you can
be-
share and walk us.
That would be amazing. So
Okay.
I would definitely appreciate that.
Great.
So
Let me-
my name, as introduced, is Becky Geyer. I own Floral Affairs. It's not a floral affair, it's Floral
Oh,
Affairs.
apologies.
And I am currently up in Greenfield. We've been here almost 17 years. And I was approached by Kurt Shumway to take over Knowles Flower Shop. So we have agreed to do this, which is great. We will shift gears a little bit and call it FA squared, because we have found in all the many years of businesses, as when people see that it's just a flower shop, they don't come in the door. So the logo will look a little bit different in Amherst versus our Greenfield location, but
Mhm.
still the same kind of general service that we give to Greenfield. We do flowers for all weddings, events, funerals, birthdays, you name it, we do it. It's a little, Candy's hours at Knowles Flower Shops is quite limited at this time. I don't really believe in that. Our store here is 6 days a week, sometimes 7 on a holiday week. It's just what we do. We don't leave until the work is done. It's just how it goes. But we're definitely excited to come to Amherst and love the new look of what our sign guy put together. It fits right within our logo, and I think it'll be beautiful there. Kurt has some plans to pretty up the front a little bit and get it kind of updated and looking beautiful. There was another sign that also got proposed, which was to go in the front. Did you happen to see that?
I
as well?
think these are the two. Oh, no, there was one more image. Existing signage,
I only saw those two. If
proposed
there was
signage in the memo.
something-
Yeah, this is it. We've got the existing
Okay.
and this image. Yeah.
Becky, was it added?
So I had put in, it
after?
was for another application. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So what it is it's just a round sign with white posts on either side that would then go perpendicular. So as people are walking on the sidewalk, they would see that FA squared. A 3x3 look exactly the same, just a round circle. And I think it'll look beautiful. We'll clean up that front and make it actually look attractive.
Mhm. If
which
I
could be fun.
referred to
So, yeah,
that as
so we're
a
excited.
great. That 3x3, would we call that a blade sign? You said perpendicular to the building?
So it looks like, let me see if I don't know quite how I can share it on the screen besides pulling it up and maybe putting it up to my camera here. Does that work?
Right.
or you can email it
Oh,
to
yeah.
me and I can forward it to Erica, because it's definitely not on OpenGov.
Okay, so let's see here. Graham.
And Becky, while you're doing that, you mentioned Kurt has plans for the front of the
Jacinta, I think
building.
we've just lost her.
Oh no.
Right, I'm gonna stop the share for a second. Oh, she's still there. She just turned her screen off. Okay. Jacinta, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, no, no. It was just a question about the additional changes to the front, just sort of like a question slash, yeah, more of a question to find out if you would come back before the DRB to present those changes to the front of the building. The ones that Kurt was thinking about doing. I don't know if there's a lag. Is there a lag?
I think so. Becky, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, it's really, I can tell you my computer really is not happy with this.
We do find that as nice as it is to see you on the screen, sometimes you have a little bit more bandwidth for screen sharing or audio if your camera is turned off. You might want to try that.
Okay, so let's try that. This too. Are you there? You're not there. Okay, what's a good email that I can email? No, just
You should be able to respond to the email that I sent you a little bit ago.
I just saw that too. Perfect.
And then Jacinta, do
Okay.
you happen to have all of the FA squared images available? Like if you just screen shared, we could see.
I can certainly try when I get this last one.
Sure.
I just sent it over to you.
Okay. Let me cue the others while I wait for that one.
Okay. That way we don't have to switch back and forth.
Okay.
Becky, while we're waiting for Jacinta to receive that, could you tell us a little bit about the material that the sign will be made from?
That is an MDO, so it's a medium density overlay, which is a plywood that has a resin that's impregnated fiber surface, and then it would be hand painted.
I see, okay. And I know that Knowles, I believe, did not have any exterior downlighting on that sign. Are you planning to install any lighting?
Not as of this point, no.
Okay. Karen and Karen, do you have any questions that Becky could respond to now?
I do.
Please.
Sure.
First of all, your sign is very artistically done and distinct and very attractive. I was curious
you.
about something. Because you're not explicit in the sign, how have people responded to that? Because I assume it's the same in Greenfield.
My sign in Greenfield actually says Floral Affairs, but as I mentioned, I feel like it's been harboring for us that people see Floral Affairs and they go, oh, we're not stopping there. It's just a flower shop. Even though we have a wide variety of plants and gifts and so forth, where I feel like it's been more hindering than helpful.
Okay.
So the sign that I proposed to put in the actual frontage, in the yard space, as you'll call it, does say Floral Affairs underneath that FA squared. But on the
Yes.
building, I kind of want a little bit of curiosity, especially with the younger college crowd of what is it? And that's kind of cool. And thinking of that biology kind of effect, that it might be a little bit different. It's my
So-
whole staff here. I have a pretty big staff and they're like, are you crazy? And I'm like, no, it's Amherst just has a whole different feel. And I feel like it will be a good switch up. And as you can see, I mean, even like our shirts here we all have FA. And so it's just kind of been our look for quite some time.
So it's
When we show up to
broad.
do weddings and so forth. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it,
so
is
that,
it-
squared for number 2 shop. Say again.
okay, about to ask that. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. Did you catch that email? Did that work for you?
You missed the S at
Oh.
the end of my name. So it actually sent me a message that said, we can deliver this, which is kind of funny that if you can deliver the message that says we didn't deliver this, but
Right. But it didn't get to you. Okay.
right. So
let's-
if you can just reply again to that email where
and, oh, my heck, just and I just hit it reply and sent you nothing. So hold on. I love my phone. It's definitely a Monday in my world today. Okay. That looks like it's there for you.
okay, 1 second. Not what I want.
Are you planning to paint the building?
So
anything
that
like
Kurt had said to me that they're kind of going around right now and painting all of their buildings. So I'm sure it will get freshened up. They're just waiting for Candy to vacate. So then they can do it all in one shop. We
and just
we own a
retaining that light green, that mint
Yeah.
green?
yeah, which will be perfect. Almost more of a gray tone, which would be great. Look like almost like a traditional Cape Cod house.
Mhm.
So which we love the feel of that.
Okay, can you all see everything?
Yes,
Get that
yeah.
out of the way. Get this out of the way. Okay, so this is the circle,
Mm-hmm.
double-sided 3x3, hand painted on MDO.
And,
And is it gonna stand on what, okay.
Yeah, almost like a fence post. So if you look at like on Northeast, or I'm sorry, North Pleasant Street, there's a bakery right next door and then a cute little eatery that also has some white fencing. It'll kind of mirror that. I kind of want it to have that same kind of feel.
Mhm.
Okay,
And just, would you mind, Becky, describing for us one more time where
Sure.
this sign will go perpendicular to the building and describe where on the facade you'd see
So
it?
pretty much right smack in the middle of the lawn. So then as you're walking through, you can just see it coming right at you rather than having to look up at the building.
Mhm, mhm. All right. Oh, Karen, I see that you have your hand. Oh, but we can't hear you because you're muted. Oh, Karen, can you hear us? Can you unmute?
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
So
Start all
this,
that again.
this went away a time back. I was wondering about the sign. It's Floral Affairs, and the A squared stands
Mhm.
for the fact that it's plural, Floral Affairs.
Floral Affairs, but then also two for not only affairs, but for Amherst as well. So it's technically on
Oh,
both ends, right?
oh, so you're
So
gonna
like our
send a
website will
Wile
be
to,
Floral Affairs of Amherst. So our website here in Greenfield is Floral Affairs of Greenfield. So it just kind of works.
Mhm.
I see. It's pretty cool, pretty
Yeah.
tricky. And once you figure it out, you think, oh,
Mhm.
good.
It's good. A little bit of curiosity. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jacinta, this is great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my sense is that it's a sophisticated design, and I like a little bit of mystery, and we certainly see that in other businesses where the name, I know the Blue Marble isn't here with us anymore, but like that was one nice example. And you were
Right.
enticed inside, and then you got to see the breadth of what was being
Mhm.
sold. So I like this, and the integration of the floral imagery with the letters.
Very attractive.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
The sign guy was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, I do design. This is my work too."
Right. Yeah, I think if I had one comment, and it is a minor one, and that may be to strengthen the visual quality of the F, the lower part of the F. It's breezy right now with the flower stems, but I don't know if there's any way to
Right.
maybe emphasize
Well,
to just
and if
make
you
that
can look,
connection.
if you can look, the one on the sign that's supposed to go in the yard, that's my original logo that the flowers are not colored in.
Mhm.
I don't know what he was thinking with coloring in the flowers up on the building. So if
Mhm.
it were me, I would probably have him go back to the one that was in the yard, just because that's what my logo is on my shirt.
Got you. It may
Mm.
be worth it for the one on the building to have to have them colored in, and that's just for visual impact from a distance.
Mhm.
And then you may want them to be the same while they're not exactly what's on your t-shirt. They're clearly closely related. I wonder what my board colleagues say, but I worry a little bit about kind of losing the F.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. And I think you're talking about coloring it in. Is that
Yeah,
correct? It also would sort of highlight the fact that it is floral. And I think it'd be very attractive to do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
But
when
I
will
think,
you open?
yeah,
Projection is July 21st. So we take the space on July 1st. We own a construction company too. So my husband will rip apart the inside because that is gross. We'll say that. And redo it and get it to be more our style. And so that will be fun. So hopefully we'll turn it in 3 weeks. See how we
really
get.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's see. Looking closely now at the circle sign, the stand for, I guess, the yard sign with the circle. Is that going to be painted white? Did you mention white?
The posts will be white,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a traditional fence post.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this image came from the sign guy, which is fantastic. But remember, I just said we own a construction company and we do a lot of high-end detail work. So I would imagine my husband will build some sort of beautiful cap for the top of that, if I know him. But custom made, but fence posts kind of 4x4 on each side.
Okay, thank
And
you.
then with
Yeah.
a pretty decorative top.
Okay, okay, all right. And then there are 4 dots within the
I don't know.
circle.
I don't know what those are there. That should not be there. Because I would imagine they're going to attach it from the sides, or I'm not quite sure how they're going to attach that. It has to be pretty secure because what Candy told me was that Knowles used to have a sign out front. And unfortunately, college kids had damaged it. So they're going to have to make that so it's pretty rock solid.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
Okay.
I figure that job is up for the professionals.
I'm glad to hear that those dots go away because I think they're
Yeah, not good.
extra in a way that you don't need.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think that my only recommendation is to, just for the sake of readability, and especially for that sign that's on the roof, because we're going to be reading it at a great distance, to keep the color,
Mm-hmm.
to keep the white filled in on the flowers. In on the F. And other than that, I don't think I have
I can see exactly what you're saying by that for sure.
I don't think I have any notes. I'm just double check with Karen and Karen to see if you have any thoughts to share with Becky. No.
I think I agree with you. I think it's really exciting. I like it colored in because of the same thing to make the F really stand out. It's an F. And it's unusual to have a round sign like that with a symbol. So I really love it. It's very creative, it's different, and it fits so well right between those two windows. So congratulations. I'm excited
Very
for you.
nice.
Thank you.
And conceptual. It's very nice that, you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So I will be happy to make the motion to approve Floral Affairs sign package as presented this evening with one recommendation, and that is to maintain the white infill on the flower shapes on the roof sign. And I think that I should say to maintain the infill on the flower shapes, probably on both signs so that they're the same. But,
I can second that.
thank you. And all in favor
Thank
or
you.
any discussion first? All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's everyone. Great. Thank you. I look forward to stopping in.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you do. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Maybe I get married again. Okay, great. We can move on to our next applicant, and that is the Amherst History Museum.
Not seeing, okay, hold on, no. Okay, thank you for identifying yourself. I'm gonna promote them to panelist, 1 second. Simeon Strong will be joining us.
Excellent.
Hi, I'd also like to ask Neil Parks is in the room. He is a trustee. He is the artist and carpenter who will be working on the sign. So
Great.
can you invite him as a panelist as well?
Sure.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, well, thank you. And I'm clearly not Simeon Strong.
I was going to say, would you mind, Liz, introducing yourself?
The person who built the Strong House, which is what our usual location is. But I am Liz Larson. I am the executive director of the Amherst Historical Society. And I have also being joined by my colleague Neil Parks, who is a trustee, an artist, and a carpenter.
Great.
And
well, we're happy to see you this evening. We would ask you to introduce us to your proposal. And I'm happy to share my screen with the images that you've provided already, or you could do that and walk us through.
I actually have one extra one that I did not send in that will give a background on why we've chosen this image. So
Okay.
The Historical Society, which is normally, we are headquartered at 67 Amity Street, right next to the Jones Library. And with the construction project starting soon and the fencing that's going up, we are going to be a little visually blocked from the public. And also we are taking this opportunity to have some maintenance work done on the building. So we are very delighted that we have taken a 2-year lease on the building at 45 Boltwood Walk, formerly Mass Vintage, also known as the Knights of Columbus Hall. And we will be running our public programs out of this building for the next 2 years. And I can share my screen, yes.
Great.
So the first image I'm going to show you is our logo. And this is our current logo for the Historical Society and Museum. And is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not on my screen. And it is, so you'll note the colors and the flower emblem and the font. So Erica, that's the only one extra that I wanted to share. If you want to share yours, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do that, and you can kind of
So-
walk me through. I'll show you briefly the images that we have.
Okay. Yeah. So the first one is, of course, the building without the sign on it. You'll see the spot above where the discoloration is. That's where the Mass Vintage sign was for all those years. And that is where we are proposing to put a sign that will measure 8 feet by 4 feet with the new logo, the Amherst History Center of the Amherst Historical Society. We are branding this location as the History Center to distinguish it from the Strong House itself. We've also chosen to keep the colors and the flower logo from our already recognizable brand. But we've taken out we've replaced the, I think it's a Times New Roman, with a font without serifs in it, because sans serif is so much easier to read and much more accessible. And we propose to place it in the location where Mass Vintage had their sign. It is relatively visible from the parking lot itself and as you're walking past the building. In the winter, more so, you can see it from the Bang Center when there are no trees on that oak tree, or no leaves on the oak tree. So, and this is, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough with Canva to be able to do it in perspective so that it would be, the perspective you would see it.
On the surface of the building.
On the surface of the
Yeah.
building, yes. It's not going to, here it looks like it's going to be standing out. No, it will be flush with the surface of the building.
Okay. And could you say the dimensions one more time, Liz?
8 feet by 4 feet.
Thank you. Thank you. And hi, Neil, feel free
Hi.
to offer any additional.
Yeah. Obviously the sense of scale is a little bit off with this, but it will cover up the prior sign discoloration. And at this time, Liz, I don't think we know if the lights actually work, right?
We don't have any plans to have it lit at night because we don't know where the light switch is for those. If we were to find the light switch and confirm that they do actually work, it would probably only be lit during evenings when we would have evening programming going on there.
Events, yeah.
Okay. And the material of the sign?
Yeah, we're thinking about using also like the previous person using an MDO, essentially a good sturdy exterior grade plywood, and it would have a like a UV resistant kind of paint and a kind of a matte covering that would go over that as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anything else you want to add, or can I turn it over to the members of the board for questions?
I have nothing else to add.
All right, thank you.
It's pretty
Thanks for walking us through
straightforward.
that. Karen and Karen, do you have any questions or comments?
I think it's very attractive. I like the fact you changed the font to distinguish it from the The Strong building, how it presents on the Strong building. On either side of the sign, are those shadows or is that a remnant from?
Yeah, it's a discoloration from the previous sign. Yep.
But this new sign is the same,
It
Mm.
would, it would actually cover that. Yeah, it would go over it.
it's gonna go over it because you're 8 feet by
Yeah.
4 feet.
Yeah, this is not the exact scale.
Right.
And the previous sign was anchored with screws to the external space there. And we would do the same, make it really secure.
Thank you.
I have a question, and this,
So is the bottom line of the of the Amherst Historical Society, is that big enough to be able to be read actually from a little bit of a distance?
Again, I think that the sense of scale it's not displayed exactly as it would be. It would be quite a bit bigger.
4 feet.
So that means you can see it. Yeah, it's worth
Yeah.
putting on there. Okay. Yes, I agree. I think it's attractive. I like the colors. I like how the "and" is echoed in the flower. Yeah, I think it's nice.
I'm also a fan, although I do have a question, and when the proportions change, this may be moot, but it feels like it wants to be, like the proposal here is that the words are centered on one another, but
Hmm.
it's not quite, nor is it quite like justified on the right.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering what the intention is, because I think lining it up or like lining it up to one side or the other or centering it deliberately would be a good move.
Yeah.
So my intention was that it would be right justified or right, not justified, but all lined up on the right side.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not good enough manipulating them in Canva. And so when Neil, who is an actual artist, is laying this out, that would be the plan, is so that it's yeah, so the T, the Y, and the R are all lined up on that side.
On the right side, so the T, the Y,
Yes.
and the R, okay. I think that's a good move.
Every day I learn something new with Canva, but this is
Got you. And then am I right to read that the color of the letters and the color of the flower are
yes,
in the same family, but not the same?
they will be matching on the
They will be
sign itself.
matching.
Yes, and the gray of the other part of the flower and the Amherst Historical Society will match as well.
Okay, great.
Again, it's user incompetence with Canva. I apologize.
Right, technology is supposed to make our lives easier, and yet, and so, all right, so for now, the lights don't work, but if they do manage to come on, they are down lights,
Mhm.
so we're not lighting up, okay. All right.
Yeah, they actually point at the sign itself. Yeah, the way they're angled.
Great. Any other feedback or questions, or could we move this forward?
No questions.
Okay. Would anybody like to offer a motion to approve with the understanding that the T, the Y, and the R will be aligned?
I can make a motion that we accept the proposal of the sign of the Amherst Historical Center with the understanding that the letters, the final letters of the words will be lined up, and yeah, that's it, I guess.
I seconded.
Thank you, Karen. Discussion?
Yeah.
Great. All those in favor, please let us know. Raise your hand, say aye. It's everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Great.
Thank you. And
Nice to see
Thank
this
you.
space occupied and.
yep, and I hope you guys will come visit when we're open to the public.
We
So,
certainly will. Thank you.
all right,
Lynn,
thanks.
Neil,
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Have a nice evening.
Yep,
Good night.
bye.
Night. Right. Lovely. That's a space that's seen a lot of change over the years. It's nice to see somebody in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still sharing. Oh gosh, sorry. Okay, here we go. Um, and onward for us, where's my agenda? Would be to review meeting minutes, but I think since we don't have enough of us here who were at the last meeting, that we might just put that one on hold till July, if that's okay. Any other business?
I just
Another-
have one update about
please.
the design review standards.
Hmm.
They were supposed to have a draft ready in June, but I think they're a bit delayed. And so it probably will not come out this month. But what I was told was that there has been about 5 to 6 months scheduled for all boards and committees to review the draft standards when they are published or when they are ready for distribution. So that should give everyone, I think, enough time to get their feedback.
Thanks. I look forward to that, to seeing those, and I'm glad that there's a fair amount of time for us to take a close look at it. I think that we can decide as a board whether we want to review sections together in the public forum, give ourselves time to review them and then maybe come together and discuss a portion of it each month as we go.
Okay, that was the only update that I had.
Okay, appreciate that.
I had a question that is unrelated to tonight's work. A survey was done to look at downtown,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering what the status of that survey is. Does anyone know? What's happening?
No, is it in relation to the design review standards?
Well, design was an aspect of it.
Hmm.
What kind of front, what kind of scale, what
No.
kind of materials?
Dodson and Flinker was charged to do two things. One was streetscape design, and they kind of moved their way through that first and then got into design standards for new buildings, changes to existing buildings in the private buildings in the downtown area as kind of a second phase. And there were surveys and meetings addressing both of those big categories. So I'm hopeful that what you saw is part of that effort.
I believe it is.
Probably. Yeah. I know that I responded to one where they asked about, do you prefer this kind of pavement pattern or this kind of pavement pattern or this kind of tree grate or that condition? Does that sound familiar to you?
Also, I responded to one where it was the style of the structure,
Mm-hmm.
materials, the height,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
density,
Yeah. That was probably them. Part of their public outreach was offering some different ways for people to get involved. And I know that Karen showed up at a number of meetings as well.
I actually think they talked about it at the last meeting. They presented some of the results, but I do think that when they wrap this up, when they really come out with the results, that all is going to become public.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for responding to those. The more input we get, the better, right? Okay, well, that, can we just quickly remind ourselves of our next meeting date?
Let me
And-
double check one moment.
Yeah. The 21st of July, ring a bell?
I have the
Mm.
21st.
Same,
Yes, that's correct.
okay,
July 21st.
wonderful. July 21st it is, and Karen, I hope that you'll be with us at that time.
Thank you.
Enjoy your stay in Germany,
Oh, nice.
and otherwise, have a lovely evening, everybody. Jacinta, thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
Good
Good
All
night.
right, see
Thank
you in
everybody.
July.
Nice to see you.
See you in
Bye-bye.
July.
Bye.
A good